Hi, I'm Alana and welcome back to YogaYin. I'm going to take you through a yoga sequence that I put together today for your hips, specifically to open your hips and lengthen your legs, take you into poses that you didn't think you could actually achieve. So it is a bit of a challenge today. I want you to take it easy and see how you go. Don't overexert yourself, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Okay, so first of all, I want you to come down onto your mat. Just in a cat pose on all fours, making sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and then you're going to gently just open out your throat, and then exhale and curl through the spine. Inhale to open. Exhale to curl. Inhale to open, and then you're going to step your hands forward into downward dog. And I want you to turn your hands out, spread your fingers nice and wide, and turn them out on your mat so the thumb and the forefinger are pointing forward. And then tuck your toes under, come up into downward dog on the toes. And just to start that ease, I want us to just gently walk through the feet. So we're going to start easing out the backs of the legs first of all. And then inhale and exhale, sink the heels down. And then raise one leg behind you, just into a one-legged dog, just as high as you can. And then we're going to bend that right knee and take it through to the right wrist. And slide your back leg down. Just like so. Now, if you want to make this a little more challenging for yourself, you can move that leg forward. But keep it where you're comfortable. And then if it's comfortable for you, I want you to just bring your body and just lay down. Take a few deep breaths here. Hi, Granny. And then walk your hands back up. Curl your back tight. Step back to downward dog. Keep walking through your feet. Easing out the backs of the legs. So that was Pigeon pose, Raja Kapotasana, and it's a really, really good hip opener to start with. Inhale and exhale, sink your heels down. Walk your right hand over to your left. Step your right foot around your right hand like so. Drop your back knee. Beautiful. We're going to come into lizard pose. Now, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want to come further, come down onto your mat, but don't let your legs splay out to the side. Keep it hugged into the midline, hugged into the body. And take a few deep breaths here. What you doing? Don't forget to breathe. And then come back up onto your hands. And if you wish to, you can either step back to downward dog, or if you'd like to take it a little further, come up onto the toe with the back foot and come into a really deep lunge. Hold it here. And then when you're ready, step back to downward dog, walk through your feet once more. And you should be starting to feel a little bit easier in the backs of the legs. Inhale and exhale, and we'll work to the other side, raising your left leg high in the air now, and bending the knee, bringing it through to the wrist, sliding your back leg down. Finding that comfortable position, shift your leg either forward if you need to. And then when you're ready, Lay your body down and rest. And then walk your hands back up, curl your back tight, step back to downward dog. And if it feels okay now, drop your heels down towards your mat. And then pick up your left arm, walk it over to your right. Step your left foot around your left hand, drop your back knee, uncurl your toe. And if it feels okay for you, and you did on the other side, please come down onto your forearms, into lizard pose. And then walk your hands back up and either come back to downward dog or step your leg back, come into that very low lunge and hold it here. Couple of deep breaths, and you want your knee directly over your ankle. And you can probably feel that's really starting to work into the hips and the thighs now. And then when you're ready, step back to downward dog. Sink both of your heels down towards the mat. Hold it here for a couple of deep breaths. Okay. Now I'm going to come into a really strong hip opener. So I want you to take it easy this one. Lower your knees down to the mat. See if you're coming into cat. And you're going to slide your knees out to the side. Take your feet out so your ankles are parallel with your knees and your feet are flexed, toes pointing out to the side. And then just gently come down onto your forearms and start to ease the groin out. Now this is called frog pose. It is quite a dynamic stretch, so just take it easy. It's going to stretch out the hips and the groin. And then when you're ready to release it, gently walk your feet in first. Knees out to the side of your mat. Come back into extended child's pose. Sink your buttocks back to the heels. And then walk your hands up to your body. Come to a seated pose. And now we're going to practice Gomukhasana, which many of you might know this pose particularly because we use it to open out the arms. But this time we're actually going to work with the legs. So what I want you to do is fold that left leg under you and then cross your right leg over the top so the knees are stacked on one another. And then just take hold of your toes and take a few deep breaths here. Make sure the spine is nice and long, and then gently release it. Take the right leg underneath you. Cross the left leg over the top. You'll probably find one side's easier than the other. Make sure you ground down through your buttocks. One knee on top of the other. Grab the toes. And just sit with it and focus on your exhalation. Just let your body melt into the pose. And then take your legs out nice and long in front of you. We're going to come into Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. And I want you to just pick up your right leg, tuck the sole of your right foot into your groin, like so. Keep your other foot flexed. Twist your body, so you're going to extend over that leg. And then inhale, raise the arms, come up and out of the hips, and exhale, fold forward. Now if you need to bend up your knee here, do. Don't strain your lower back, okay? It's about opening the hips and the legs, not about straining the lower back. And then just bring your head to your knee. And when you're ready, gently come back up and release and work to the other side. Taking the sole of the left foot into the right thigh, reaching up, folding down. And then reach out. Come all the way back up. Okay, so now I want you to take a bolster or a nice rolled up blanket. We're going to come into a pose which is an advanced pose. It's called Hanumanasana or monkey pose, otherwise known as the splits. And this can be a really intimidating pose. It's used by a lot of yogis, and sometimes it can seem like, hey, look what I can do, I'm a yogi. But look, it's quite a good pose. It's good for sciatica. It's certainly not necessary for you to attain the full pose, so please don't beat yourself up about that. What we're going to do is we're going to do it with the bolster or the blanket. So I want you to come up on your right knee. Just make sure your hip's above your right knee, and you're going to, or left knee rather, and take that right leg forward. Okay, and all I want you to do, straighten out that leg as much as you can. Place your palms either side and just get into that stretch. And if that's enough for you, please stay there. And if you'd like to come further, we're going to bend that right knee. Slide your left leg back. Slide your right leg forward. And then just use the bolster under the groin. We're just going to sit here for a few deep breaths. Flex your foot if that feels comfortable for you. And if you feel comfortable in this pose, I want you to bring your hands to prayer. Or you can even bring them up and over your head. Come into a slide upper back bend. But please stay wherever you feel comfortable. And then when you're ready to release it, bend that right knee, lift yourself up, come back. And then, standing on the right knee, take the left leg forward. Slide the right leg back. If you wish to, you can tuck those right toes under and actually come up onto the toes. Or you can just let them lie. Again, bring your hands to prayer. Bring them up and over the head if you wish to. Or just leave them here. Take a few deep breaths. And as you breathe out, just let your groin sink down a little more. And then when you're ready to release it, bring your right leg around to your left. Pop your blanket or bolster back. Take both legs out together. Inhale here, reach up high in the air, up and out of the hips. Fold forward, into Paschimottanasana, full forward bend. And then inhale, reach up. And to finish off, you might like to just roll onto your back and hug your knees into the belly if you're feeling it in your lower back. But if you're not, then you're quite okay. You shouldn't be feeling it in your lower back too much. It's really about working the hips. So you should feel a lot freer and looser in the hips today. Do drink a lot of water after you've done this practice. We tend to hold a lot of emotions in our hips and a lot of toxicity in our hips, much more than we realise. So I want you to drink a lot of water, flush that through. Don't be surprised if you get a little bit emotional for a while, but that should steady itself out, and most of all you should just feel really free and easy. So do let me know how you go. Thanks for joining. Namaste.